Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kandy's Quarantine Conversations with me, Kandy Delore. Joining me today is my special guest, Nigel St Lewis. Nigel is a natural bodybuilder. He is a 2 times world champion. He is an actor. He is, oh, I love that. He is also an advocate for Fight for the Fatherless Organization, and he is the founder of Blacksthetics Apparel clothing brand. Nigel, I must say you are an extremely motivational man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how is life on lockdown treating you so far?
It's different. It certainly is different as it is for everyone else. But you know, we're all in it together, right? As everyone says, and you just got to somehow try and motivate yourself to get through it. It hasn't been great. It's not ideal, but we all know that. And I think it's easy to complain, but I just try to get on with it. I try to make it work somehow. I'm still managing to work out using body weight exercise. And, I'm just carrying on as usual.
Yes, well, I'm sure that you're definitely carrying on because I noticed on your Facebook the other day that you created a makeshift gym in your garden, and you got all your followers to post gyms that they had also created in their back gardens. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you gotta get people involved. You know, everyone's. It's not easy. And it's trying to engage people and get people to engage and get people. Because people, not everyone handles it the same. Everyone's different in terms of how they would handle this situation. Not easy, by no means. Irregardless of what people say, a lot of people say crack on and get on with it, but it's not the same for everyone. Not everyone can crack on and get on with it. It's just easy words to say, but the reality is something different. So what I try to do is be engaging with some of the posts I put on Facebook the best I can when I find the time. To get people talking, get people corresponding as usual, and to keep a smile on people's face. That's a massive thing.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, your workout videos, I'm sure, put a smile on many people's faces, including single ladies at home. Okay, so I'm really happy and excited to have you on Kandy's Conversations today. My first question for you is, what first got you interested in becoming a bodybuilder? When did you start becoming interested in the whole activity?
Okay, I say my interest started at a young age. Growing up in Trinidad and the Caribbean, where I'm originally from. So my parents and my family was massively into sports growing up. Boxing, cricket, basketball, you name it, we played in the Caribbean. But my granddad and my cousin were into boxing and into bodybuilding, and that's what initially started a sort of my interests in the sport. I remember growing up watching He-Man cartoon back then, wanted to be like He-Man growing up. I took a lot of my influence from my family. As I said, my family were very sports orientated. My cousin, who I admired making his own weights, his back garden using cement and cast iron. So I watched them growing up, and I think that's when my influence or my initial interest in sports and bodybuilding started. From seeing them, I'm doing it, So, yeah.
Yes. So how do you manage to stay disciplined with, all your workouts and how you eat and stuff like that? Because it's really hard. So how do you cope with all of that and manage it?
It's not easy. Like you rightly said, it's not easy. And I think it starts there. It's a mindset. So for anyone that I give advice to when it comes to trying to get healthy, not necessarily being a bodybuilder, that's another entity on itself. Anyone I give advice to in terms of trying to keep in shape or stay fit is to get your mind right, to start thinking that way, because that's where it starts. If you don't get your mind right, then it won't happen. So maybe, if you have something coming up, a holiday, you got an event you want to go to, a wedding coming up, that's always a good position to start from, because you've got something to target, and that gets you more motivated, other than just going to the gym, training, which can be more mundane at times. I've essentially over the years made it a lifestyle, so that's why it's become so easy for me to do. It's part of what I do. It's a lot easier for me. I've done it. Like I said, I've done it from a young age. I've been interested from a very young age, so it's easier for me. Whereas for someone else who hasn't experienced that, like I've experienced from a young age, it's a bit more difficult. So, I'd say get your mind right. Your health is your wealth. You don't want to be the richest man in the cemetery, right? In the graveyard. So try to look after your health. That's so important. If you don't have to eat chicken breast and rice every day, but try and eat it more often than not. Not try and have your veg, try and have your carbohydrates, try and have your protein. Try and have a rounded meal. Try and cut out the junk meal. They cut out the stuff that's high in sugar. Cut out the stuff that's high in saturated fat. The processed food. Try and cut that down a bit. And especially in our community as well, we tend to suffer from diabetes and stuff like that. So we need to watch it. Probably it's slightly more regimented than most. And I know it's difficult because eating healthy is not cheap. But like I said, your health is your wealth, and you have to make sacrifices. And if one thing I sacrifice doing is eating healthy, keeping healthy, and doing exercise, and getting that mindset. And that's how if I didn't think the way I thought, if I was new coming into this, that's the way I think about it.
So, what do you eat?
I tend to. It's very bland and boring. It's a lot of chicken breast, a lot of eggs, a lot of oats, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, that sort of thing. And it's almost repetitive. I don't sway too far away from those sort of things. A lot of fish, all that stuff that you should be eating. I think a lot of people know what they should be eating. They tend to. It's just very bland and boring. It's much preferable to have a KFC or McDonald's. As opposed to getting some chicken breast and rice, vegetables, which is frankly can be quite bland and boring at times. But that's the sort of food I eat. I keep it. It's not overly complicated. It's quite simple, but it does the trick and it keeps me healthy, I believe.
Well, I guess you're not missing McDonald's or KFC or Burger King not being open.
I don't. Do you know what? Because over the years I've become so used to eating what I eat.
Yeah.
I don't having a KFC or having a. I mean, I do have it. I do have an Nando's now and again. Let's say I don't have these things. I do have it, and when I do have it, it tastes a lot better than people who have it today. But I don't miss it. Some people.
So, how many times do you work out a day? And for how long?
Yeah. Once a day is enough for me. It depends on what I'm doing and where I'm at with my training. So, if I'm getting ready for a competition, I'm in prep mood, a competition prep mood, as we bodybuilders refer to it. It could be twice a day. So I do a weight session in the morning, time suffice, or I do a weight session in the morning and a cardio session in the evening. Sometimes I combine the two. So I could be in the gym up to 2 hours, slightly over if I'm doing cardio and weight, or I could be in there for an hour and 15 minutes if I'm doing one, if I'm doing weight only. So it all depends on what,
Okay. So at what stage did you decide that you were going to participate in competitions? And when you went to get the world title, was that something that was always planned, or did it just happen when you realised, like, oh, I'm getting all these muscles, I should compete?
Do you know what? I never planned. I never planned to compete. I never, my interest got sparked in 2011 when I think I went to a fitness expo in Birmingham called Body Power, which is world renowned now. Everyone goes to it now. It was an up and coming event back then, basically a fitness exhibition where you had bodybuilders, mixed artists, boxers, and everyone from the fitness world coming together to create this event. I went there and I had a look around. I left there massively inspired by what I saw. And I remember getting home and thinking maybe I could look at doing bodybuilding. Now, back then, I used to look into guys like some of the guys made not every bodybuilding is a very niche, kind of on the ground. Not many people know much about it, but everyone wants to be it. Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wants to go out and do the work and lift heavy weights and right. But there's a guy called Ronnie Coleman that was I was massively influenced by. Probably the best bodybuilder that's ever lived. Everyone talks about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was up there, but Ronnie was the best that ever lived, and I was inspired by him. So I started watching his videos and whatnot. Maybe I could do this, but not knowing that Ronnie Coleman took copious amount of performance enhancing drugs, steroids. Back then, I didn't know anything about that. I wanted to train naturally. I always lift weights. I always eat healthy. I've never, that didn't. But I didn't know what he took to get to the size he did. But I was still inspired, so I kept training. I looked into natural bodybuilding. I came across a forum in the UK that supported natural bodybuilding, talked about it. I went onto the forum and I said to the guys on there that I was interested in doing a show, a bodybuilding show. I currently weigh 90-something kilos, I said, but I don't know if I'm ready to do a show, etc. I didn't have a clue. And the responses I got on the forum was, yeah, okay, mate, you're 90 kilos, shredded muscles, and the rest of it. No way. So they kind of disparaged me in a sense that they didn't believe me when I said I was 93 kilos. In the natural bodybuilding world, that was weighing that sort of weight is your heavyweight. That's a lot of muscles to carry as a natural bodybuilder. So they didn't actually believe me when I said, this is what I weigh. I've been training for a while, blah blah blah. And they sort of laughed at me, sort of thing, So I posted a video on the forum. About a few hours later, after posting my interest in the natural body, I posted a video of myself posing in my kitchen, and the response just went through the roof. You're like, oh my God, surely you're not natural, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And no, I've trained completely natural. I don't take any performance-enhancing drugs, but it sort of blew their minds. The response went crazy. One of the guys who the Natural Physique Association is one of the natural organizations in the UK. He encouraged me to compete. So I sort of I said, yeah, I'd compete, but I don't think I'm ready. He said, oh, you're ready.
How did that feel to hear that?
Oh yeah, it was amazing to hear, because I didn't think that much of myself back then. I thought I was just. I knew genetically I had something, because I would train the guys I would train with at my gym. I managed to put on muscles quicker than they were, despite the fact that we were pretty much doing the same thing. We were training maybe they weren't training as hard as me. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they weren't eating as much as I was. But I managed to put on a lot more size and muscles, and I had a structure, a build that was complementary towards bodybuilding, So I looked at some of the other guys that were competing. I sort of compared myself. I went onto YouTube and I looked at Physique, and some of these guys already competing in the natural organization. I said, based on what I saw, well, yeah, I'd definitely give this a go. So yeah, that was it. 2011, I stepped on stage for the first time. I met my coach, a guy called Desmond Elliott, who owned the gym in Oxbridge, and he sort of coached me through my first show, gave me a diet plan. I don't think when he gave me the diet plan initially, I don't think he thought I'd stick to it. So he gave me a diet plan, said stick to this for 3 to 4 months, and I did. I didn't know any better. I stuck to it, and yeah, I came in shape. He was amazed when he saw me. Went to our first show in St Albans, the British Natural Bodybuilding Federation, and I won. I won the show. I won my class. I won the entire show. It was over 100 competitors. I won the entire show. He qualified me for the British finals. And that was unheard of at the time. So for a novice bodybuilder to come in and win an entire show and qualify for British finals, all of a sudden everyone was like, who's this Nigel St Lewis guy? So I went from there to there in the bodybuilding world in a matter of months. And yeah, the rest, as they say, is
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. I think I actually saw the video of when you won. I'm not sure if it was the St Albans one, but I saw it on YouTube. Is that the right video?
I think that may have been the World Championships in New York.
Okay, wow. Okay, because I did see you win an award on one of your YouTube videos, and that was pretty awesome to see. I mean, how did you feel at the time when you won that award and, you know, you got the world title and became a world champ? What's that like?
That was amazing. I've been working towards that for years. That was in 2015, I believe. So I started competing in 2011. It wasn't until 2015 I actually won the World Championships. So there's a lot of hard work going, into to trying to win that championship. Wasn't easy. You know, and especially coming from where I started, it felt not easy is the wrong word, but because I won everything in the initial phases of competing, I almost got sucked into the idea that this may be easy. And in 2012, I competed again. I won. I believe I won a couple of British finals, but didn't qualify for the Worlds. And then I realized that this is actually harder than I thought. It wasn't as easy as it was when I first competed. I mean, I was probably led into a full sense of security, having won almost everything. There's a lot of hard work between that time, though. You know, a lot of disappointment, a lot of, like I said, going from winning to you know, to realizing that this is actually really difficult. There's a difference between British level and world level, and it's quite a jump, you know. But it took me 3 years of solid training and dieting eventually get on that world stage and win the world championship and become a professional natural bodybuilder. But yeah, that was I haven't got the words again. I didn't have the words in 2011. I still haven't got the words to describe the feeling of euphoria. But, it's a great feeling to achieve something like that, you know.
Yes. So you're also an actor. How did you become interested in acting?
I've always been interested in it, but I've never seen something that was possible for me to do. Growing up, I wanted to be a pilot, but my dad asked me what I wanted to be. I said I wanted to be a pilot, but I didn't really believe I could be a pilot because people didn't have the facilities, we didn't have the money, we didn't have the, you know, though I said it, I didn't really strongly believe it. The same with acting for me. You know, I've always been interested in it. Just interested in playing characters, and you know, but just the belief, just having that belief, because it's not something you control. Acting is not something you control. Unlike bodybuilding, I control where I go and where I end up. It's on me how good I become based on the genetics and everything that I have to give, you know. But acting, someone else makes the decision. But you know, nevertheless, I gave it a go. I started getting involved. I started doing a lot of bit part. Firstly, I started doing a lot of extra roles. And if you don't know what extras are the people who will appear in films. You see people in the background doing whatever in the background, or they're the extras. And they're not the best treated people in the world. You know, you don't get paid for it. Sometimes a lot of it's done for free, and so it takes a lot of graft. A bit like bodybuilding in a sense, but it takes a lot of graft to get there. And if you're not passionate about it, you know, you wouldn't get the way you need to get to. A lot of disappointment. It's a very cutthroat sort of world, at the active world. Like I said, I got involved, and it's mainly through having through bodybuilding that put me on a platform, on a pedestal in many ways, that people saw me and asked me to be to get involved in certain projects they were doing. One thing led to another. I did a film called Full English Breakfast. To me, it's one of the worst films I've ever done, but I was one of the major actors or major actors in the film. And, you know, and it hasn't, for me, my interest in acting was never as strong as bodybuilding. Though I had an interest in it, I wanted to pursue it. It was never as strong as bodybuilding. So maybe I've fallen off slightly with the acting stuff, but I've concentrated on other things. But yeah, it's still something I'm still interested in. I'd like to still pursue. But like I said, it's a difficult world, and you have to be prepared for a lot of disappointment.
Well, I think you should pursue it. I mean, you do suit roles such as being a man in action, a muscle man, a hero, a champion. Yes, I definitely think you have what it takes.
As well, the action figure, the action man role is what I like to play, and I don't think in the UK apart from Idris Elba and I don't know who else can I think of, Ashley Walters maybe, and a few others. I can't think of any British actors that's doing it on that sort of level. You know, it's about opportunities, and if we're not given opportunities to play roles, then we're not gonna get. You know, look at the opportunities that come up for actors and actresses to play different roles. It's never really for us, to be fair.
Yes,
that's why I find it quite difficult with it. But opportunities is what's going to get us there, and until that happens, we're not going to do it, or unless we go out there and create those opportunities for ourselves.
Yes, most definitely. I agree with you on that. I really do. So can you tell us a bit about your role within the Fight for the Fatherless Organization?
Yeah, but to be honest, my role is the organization has been set up by a gentleman called Jason Barnett. He's from up north. He's a bodybuilder himself. And Jason's been going at this for years. He's always spoken to me about it. And the organization was essentially, I mean, he'd do a much better job of explaining what it is, but the organization was essentially set up for kids who lost their parents or lost their dads, and essentially put into care. And they're lost in the system. And a lot of time it goes negative for them, where they end up in prison or they end up doing the wrong thing. They've got no role models as such. And everyone in life needs role models. They need people to know that there's someone that's got their back, someone looking out for them. And it's such a great cause, you know. I had to jump on it, when he asked me. It was a privilege to get involved. That's essentially what it's about. And more people needs to get out there a lot more, and Jason does his bit. He's been on a few of the national networks, Sky News and BBC. He's fighting this for a very long time, and I respect the guy for what he does, because it hasn't been easy for him. But it's a great cause. Great cause.
No, I think it's absolutely amazing that you are involved in that movement. And I completely agree with what you're saying. When a young child loses a parent, they could go left, especially growing up. They could have a lot of anger within them, or other different side effects. So I really do think that is a brilliant movement, and I think it's amazing that you're on board. You do so much already, and you're helping others. So that is brilliant. So yes, tell us about Blacksthetics Apparel clothing line. So what made you begin your own brand of clothing?
Fashion has always been something I've been into. That's the first thing. My dad was a massive advocate of fashion. My mum and dad, to be fair. My dad was a fisherman in Trinidad. And my mum, I always remember my mum, before he goes to work on an evening, because he always worked night shift. And before he went to work on an evening, my mum would iron his shirts. And granted, he was a fisherman, but he didn't eat, and he was always embarrassed. I was always thinking, why are you ironing my shirt? The guys down the dock, they laugh at me when I turn up in my iron shirt to go fishing in the boat. I remember that. I remember seeing that. It's your parents, for me, is a massive thing. people, not that, people who judge you on your appearance, and that's the reality of it, So yeah, I've always been into fashion. Even in the fitness world and the bodybuilding world, I looked at it and I sort of thought to myself, for years I've been thinking this. There is no representation from my background, from my perspective, that pushes it from an angle that I come from, and I think that's missing, right? That's missing from the whole fashion industry. And I always say, you are what you see. You cannot be what you don't see. A picture paints 1,000 words. A youngster growing up who wants to get involved in the fashion world, what is that youngster's motivation to do that? Who does he see? Who does he look up to? That industry that takes his inspiration from. And if he doesn't see anyone that replicates or looks like him or her from that sort of, in that world, they're less inclined to do it. That was another motivation. And I wanted to create a brand with meaning. It had to have a meaning behind it. Blacksthetics for me, it's got a really deeper meaning, but the crisp of it's black and aesthetic. I combine both words to form Blacksthetics. So black is aesthetic. If you wear black makes you look slimmer or whatever. Black has a more aesthetic feel to it.
Yeah.
Essentially, in a more simple sense of the words, I combine the two to create Blacksthetics.
Yeah.
But I do say there's a deeper meaning behind the brand. It follows on from the Black aesthetic movement. That's a movement that started in America in the 1960s, I believe, late 1960s. The movement was essentially to celebrate Black history and Black culture, and which was largely neglected back then. Everyone was lashed onto that Western culture. No one knew about the African experience other than slavery, right? That's what we talk about. We talk about the African. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to our history than just slavery or transatlantic slavery. Us taking Africa to the Americas or to the Caribbean. So I wanted to push that as well. That I believe that was a cause that started in the 1960s, had a very strong meaning behind it. That wasn't. It should have been progressed and moved on, and it should have been made into something, but it died. It didn't last very long. It started in the 1960s and it died by the end of the 1960s. So the meaning, the relevance behind that movement was awesome. It should have been continued, but I want to continue that legacy as well. So that's the deeper meaning behind the brand. But the light-hearted side of it is to do with bodybuilding, aesthetic. It's to do with creating a physique. I talk about painting a picture. Bodybuilding is essentially that. Is you go to the gym every day, working out, and you're not physically painting a picture like an artist does, but you're painting a picture of your physique, the way you look, the way you change your physique by training hard and working hard. Yeah. And you can apply that same philosophy to anything else in life, that hard work to get to anywhere you need to get to. That's what Blacksthetics talks about, and that's what it represents.
I love that. That is a very good meaning, and I can understand where you're coming from. Behind you, is that a trophy?
Oh yeah, I've got 20, I think.
Oh, brilliant! I love it. I love that you've got your Blacksthetics cap on top of one of them too.
Yeah. It's my motivation. Every time I get in front of the computer, it needs to be there to remind me of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely meaning behind your brand, and I'm more than happy to support you. And to all my viewers and listeners, go out there, get yourself a Blacksthetics cap or a hoodie like me, and because I don't think we'll be having much summer, so you might as well get yourself a hoodie, get ready for the winter. That's when we'll be out and about probably.
Exactly.
But you vest tops as well, don't you, and other items?
Yeah. We've got a lot more stuff coming in. Unfortunately, this COVID-19 has sort of put a halt to a lot of the stuff that we had coming in. So it's been difficult to replenish stocks because a lot of the stocks have been getting sold out or have been sold out. we still have stuff available, hoodies and tank tops and whatnot. But I'm hoping once this pandemic vanishes or starts going away, and we start reopening again, start getting more stocks in. The brand is in its infant stage, still growing. But yeah, any support would be great to get the brand out there, to get people to know what we're about, what we represent. In many ways, we're like the FUBU of the UK. You know, everyone remembers FUBU, right? They put a brand back in the 90s, the 2000s that everyone like us saw, represented. So we kind of take on that mantra for the UK side of it, but from a fitness point of view. So yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds good. So Nigel, what would you tell people who have overeaten during lockdown? They're out of shape now. They're feeling a bit down. They're not sure where to start to, get their figure back or anything like that. What would you say?
Yeah, it's not easy. I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's easy. I'm going to give you all the answers that you need and whatnot. But I'll go back to something I said at the start, and it starts here with your mind. And, that's the thing. If you get your mind right and you change the way you see food, because food is comfort. Everyone loves food. Everyone loves to sit down and eat. It makes you feel better.
Yeah.
But as much as we like to eat, get yourself an exercise bike. Get yourself. You can still go outside for a walk. You can try and compensate for what you've eaten. Because you feel a lot better for it as well. Having known that if you feel like you need to have that Domino's pizza or whatever you need to eat, then go out and do some exercise on top of that, because you can't. Essentially, you're killing yourself having this stuff. Having this stuff repetitive, not doing anything about it. It's I liken it to people who drink and smoke a lot. You're damaging your insides by doing it. But you have to think about your health and well-being as well. If you change your mindset and the way you think about food, that's the start. That's the start. And if you look good, you feel good. Right? You look good, you feel good. That's the method. That's why Blacksthetics represents that. If you look good, you feel good. And trust me, I've experienced it. I know it. You feel a lot more confident about yourself. Food would always be there. Food would always be there. Just try to.
That's true.
Regulate your portion size as well, and look at that. So you don't have to have an entire Domino's 12-inch pizza. You could probably have 3 or 4 pieces. Maybe look at portion sizes. That helps.
That's true. I think the whole nation is probably overeating due to this crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's what people do in times of stress.
Yes.
I said food is a comfort.
Definitely.
Yeah, you have to. I said you're gonna have to. People are gonna have to look at it. But another thing I say to people is that if you go to the shops, you go to do your shopping, which I hate doing that because I have to queue up. I just can't be asked queuing up, and it's long to me. But when you go to the shops and you buy your foods in a set, you try and if you haven't got it in the cupboard, you can't eat it. When I see it, if you haven't got it in the fridge, you can't eat it.
True.
So, buy the stuff that you need. Don't overspend on stuff that you don't need, and just buy the stuff. Yeah, I said if it's not available for you to eat, you can't eat. So that's another way you can probably look at it. Buy the stuff that you need, not the stuff that you want.
No, you're right.
So,
when can we expect an online workout fitness class from you?
I try and I should really start getting a lot more going. I'm trying to do bits and pieces here on YouTube, but it's too sporadic. I need to be consistent with my posting, and I need to be more consistent with the stuff I put on there. Because I've got so many stuff in the lock. I've got so much information that I share with people. It's a shame that I don't put as much out there as I should do. And yeah, to answer your question, I will start doing a bit more. I keep saying that to myself, but I have to start doing a bit more, especially now. If Joe Wicks, which is 5 stone wet physique,
I was thinking that, honestly, I was thinking that.
yeah, it's incredible to me. Like, I mean, he's got a media machine behind him. And the likes of me, I can't compete with that. If I had the same media machine he had, you know, I think I'd pretty much be doing the same thing. You know, I'd have all the naysayers going, "Oh yeah, he's doing this or he's doing that. He can't be a natural. He can't be." It's just, you know, you have all the naysayers, you have all the people who would dislike you, the people who are jealous and whatnot. You know? But for the most part, yeah. Listen, I know for a fact I need to keep doing it. I need to keep doing stuff, put stuff out there, and I can't. I hate getting into the what do I do in the blame culture. You know, I like to always say to people, right? I say you need to, especially our people, right? We need to heed the lessons of the past, but learn to move forward, or progress. We must progress. You know, understand what's happened in the past and know your history and know what's happened to us.
Yes.
But in moving forward, I can't dwell on what's happened yesterday. Right? I could learn from what's happened yesterday, and I can move forward. Right? So I'm going away from the question you asked me, but we need to get out of that mindset, and you know, learn to accept and know our history, know where we've come from, right? And sort of understand that. Because essentially, I think we're the only people that when you ask us where we're from, we don't actually know. So what I'm saying is we're sort of we're talking about us as a people. We're the only people that I think that don't really know, don't have a foundational base, or we do, but we don't understand it, or that base. A lot of the time we're quite embarrassed to talk about it, or whatever the case may be. We're all over the place. We're in the Caribbean, we're in America, you know, Pacific, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
When you ask someone from India where his base, if you say India, China would be China, the Jewish person would be Israel. Yes, a black guy or girl, where's your we're so sporadic, and where we don't have that base, we don't know anything about our original history, we don't know anything about where we came from. And that's, for me, it's a dire shame. You don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going.
That's true. It's very true.
I'm going away from the question you asked me here, but I think that's so important that we learn that, and it's the history is out there. And I always find it amazing that we're so misinformed when it comes to our own history.
Yes.
If you ask anyone, you find someone on the street, if you ask 90% of people like us, black people I'm referring to on the street, where our history lies, they probably wouldn't know. If you ask someone about the Berlin Conference, for example, that's the fight for Africa in 1885, where the Europeans decided that they were going to split Africa up and take bits and pieces for themselves: Britain, France, Portugal, Germany, Belgium, you know, and divided Africa into segments: Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, you know, Burkina Faso, and all these countries. They divided it and took it for themselves. None of us really. Guarantee you, not a lot of, you know, black people know about this history, know about what happened, why Nigeria became Nigeria, why Ghana became Ghana. Africa was just Africa.
Yes.
Until it was separated and divided, segments, and taken by the Europeans. You know, this is relevant information we need to know.
You're right. I agree with you.
For Africa to grow, they need to become one again. They can't be separated from different entities.
Yes.
You know? To be that, you know, we have to come together. And for us to have our base, we need to see Africa. We, the diaspora, need to see Africa as our base, and we don't at the minute. I think we don't understand it. We haven't been taught about it. But I think it's time for us to do that. The history lessons out there for us to go and investigate and find out as much information as we can.
Yeah.
As we can. If I can find out, then you know we can all do it. So yeah.
It's true. It's true. I definitely agree with you on that. I really do.
Yeah.
Do. You're right. We are very divided, and yeah, it's not just now. It's began way back, and it's a big tangled mess, to be honest.
It is confusing, a confusing mess, and you know, Yeah, it's difficult. It's very, really difficult. And I sometimes envy my American brethren, and I've got a lot of family over there as well. As bad as it is over there, I think they're still quite a way ahead of us in terms of their representation that they have in their versions of politics and
They definitely are.
We're way behind. You know? Look at who we have. You know, you look at it, you think that matters.
Yeah,
that matters big time. You know.
No, I agree with you. I really do. So, my last question to you is: can you show us both your muscles?
There you go.
Oh, lovely! Wow. Well, that's made my day. Well, Nigel, you have been such a wonderful person to speak to. You are such an inspirational man. You are motivational. You are amazing. You are a champ. And I am so happy and, I feel honored that I was able to have this interview with you today. I am going to enjoy seeing you on your journey with Blacksthetics Apparel and everything else that you do, because I know that, you're not even at the peak of everything that you've got in motion yet. And I know that you have a great big vision, and I know that, it will come to fruition. It's just time with everything. And, you've got a lot of passions, and I know that you're a very determined man. So as long as you stick with everything that you're doing, it will all come to light and you will get it all together. So, I wish you all the best with everything that you're doing, and I wish you every success. And thank you so much for joining me today.